Hey, I'm Mike, and this is how you do the achievements in Uldaman. For the first achievement, the boss will spawn 4 ads per wave of ads, so you just need to have 3 waves spawn. If none of them die, you'll have 12 ads in total, and you only need 10 to stay alive when the boss dies for this achievement. So make sure you're not doing any AoE, make sure to kill the totem as quickly as you can, and interrupt the ads as often as possible to decrease the amount of damage going out to the group. For the next achievement, you need to walk the boss through 3 resonating orbs, and then the rest of the group needs to stand in a resonating orb to get stunned all at the same time. So strategy-wise, what I recommend is having the 2 people that are selected for resonating orbs to drop them on the circle around the room. Try not to put them on top of one another, and try to make sure there is a little bit of a gap between them so the tank can walk through the 2 orbs. In addition to the 2 people that get selected for the orb, I think there's a 3rd one that is just randomly put around the room, so that one you can't really control as far as I know. Once there are 8 yellow circles on the ground, the tank needs to move the boss through 2 of them to start. This will remove the boss's inexorable buff, which prevents him from being stunned. But he does recast this throughout the fight, so you do not want to break this as soon as you can. It has 2 stacks, so the first 2 orbs that the boss walks through will just be to break that buff, and then the 3rd orb that the boss walks through will stun him, and this stun lasts for 6 seconds. While the boss is stunned, everyone else needs to walk into one of these orbs to also be stunned, and if you're tracking the achievement, it will turn white if it's done successfully and the boss can be killed. Also, don't forget that the boss does Crushing Stomp, which is a knockback, so never have your back to an orb. And this goes for the entire fight. So if you're at that point where the tank is walking the boss through the orbs, do not have your back to an orb, because you might get a Crushing Stomp that'll push you into the orb, and now you're 1 orb shy, and the whole thing's done. The last achievement here is the hardest one in Glory of the Hero by far at the moment anyway. It's very much so a DPS race, but mechanics trump the DPS by far, so don't get tricked into thinking it's just a DPS race. So throughout this fight, the boss will be dropping Eternity Orbs, which spawn these swirlies. In these swirlies, you'll see a yellow orb falling into the swirly, and you need to catch that orb and then move out of the swirly so you're not taking damage. If any of those orbs do not get caught by a player, you fail the achievement. In the first phase, you'll have 10 orbs in total that spawn, and then you go through the rewind phase, and then you go to phase 1 again where you'll have more orbs spawning, and catching all those orbs is going to be very, very difficult. You can multi-phase this fight, but it's just quote-unquote easier if you do it in one phase 1. So after a few hours of wiping, the best strategy that I came up with was as follows. Have every person in the group select a leg of the dragon, and that is their area. If an orb is dropping in that area, that is their responsibility. Otherwise, you have people running around collecting the exact same orb and other orbs are falling and not being caught. This prevents that issue. The tank will of course just be doing any orbs that spawn around the head. The tank will probably have to move the boss at some point, so even though you're not in the exact same positions you started in, just keep in mind that if, for example, if you're the back left foot guy, always, wherever that back left foot is, that is always your area. There's an RNG element to this as the boss does a wing buffet, which is a knockback, and that can come out right as an orb is about to hit and you're about to catch it, and you can fail this achievement by no fault of your own. When I finally got this achievement, I was tanking this boss as a Fury Warrior, and we had 5 DPS in the group. Make sure to pop all your offensive cooldowns. If you have potions or flasks or food or anything like that that you want to use that as well because it will help. And make sure that during the rewind you're standing inside of these sand puddles because that gives you a buff. This achievement will eventually be easier with Mythic Plus and raids and all that coming out, but at the time of filming, this is a very difficult achievement and is the hardest, like I said, in Glory. But that's Uldaman. Thanks for watching. Have a great day. Bye.